For those loving and caring lot among us, it is important to remember this: you have to build a fortress in order to provide shelter. Welcome to Strip Coverlet, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Fort, and we are here for another poetry discussion, which will appear, of course, in two separate playlists here on the channel. Number one being the Poetry Discussion playlist, a playlist that is now over 700 videos strong. Find anywhere else on YouTube where someone has 700 plus videos dedicated to poetry, I dare you. Number two is the Robert Frost playlist, a playlist of poems from Robert Frost. The poem in question today is known as Storm Fear, and it reads as such. When the wind works against us in the dark, and pelts with snow the lower chamber window on the east, and whispers with a sort of stifled bark, the beast, come out, come out. It costs no inward struggle not to go, ah no. I count our strength, two and a child. Those of us not asleep, subdued to mark how the cold creeps as the fire dies at length, how drifts are piled, door, yard, and road ungraded, till even the comforting barn grows far away. And my heart owns a doubt whether 'tis in us to arise with day and save ourselves unaided. So what do we have here? We have a person who is likely one of the parental figures in this story. In that person's company is another parent and a child. We get two and a child. Probably that's two parents and a child. The pervasive fear here is of the storm. And it is a very cold storm indeed. It is a rough and tumble storm. It is characterized by our speaker as the beast. The beast is tempting our speaker. Come out. Come out. And our speaker says it costs no inward struggle not to go. There is no part of me that wants to go out. The speaker eventually comes around and says, I don't know that we will get through this without help. What a nightmare, right? What a nightmare to find yourself worrying that you cannot get your child through the night. I started this video saying you have to build a fortress to provide shelter. I think that applies in a lot of ways. This could be taken as a very literal account. This is a poem about a family struggling to survive a storm in a small cottage, etc. Could be taken as a very literal account, no less literary for it. But what if it's not? What if that storm is not a literal storm? What if that storm are the ravages of time? What if that storm is what it takes to grow up and be successful in the world? What if that storm is simply the sort of social wherewithal to have a comfortable life or to be comfortable in your life? Those two parents are still responsible for imparting on that child those needs in this world. Very important for that child to be socially acceptable. Very important for that child to be knowledgeable enough to be successful in the world. Very important for that child to be equipped with any number of these things that it takes on a day-to-day basis in order just to traverse the world, in order just to get to the end of the day, in order just to have a life that is worth living. Now, We're not going to have all of them, right? Most of us are not going to have all of them. None of us will have everything. At what point do you have to shrug and not be defeatist about this? One of the things that keeps me from wanting to have children is I have this pervasive fear that I'm not enough to be a father. I don't think that is all that rare a feeling. You look at the birth rates plummeting around the world, and I think as all of these things pop up around us, more and more of us have real insecurities. I mean, you go back to just the time where I was a child. What did you have to be accountable for if you were an adult? You had to have your shelter. You had to have your transportation. You had to have a phone line. Maybe you had a television. Lots of people, even when I was growing up, did not have cable. Well, now your telephone is not just a telephone, it's a telephone and all sorts of other things on it. You have to have Everybody has cable these days and 2 or 3 streaming services, not to mention the internet. And your car, well, for example, myself, there was a phantom piece of mail that supposedly I was sent. And because I did not respond to my auto insurance in time, I was disconnected from my insurance. And then, by the time I got hooked back up with that insurance, it was about 7 times the rate that it had been. In time, it will go down. Everything's a scam these days, it feels like. Everything's a scam, it feels like. And your car? Have you had to have car work done lately? It's nearly impossible. You're without a car for a week. They charge you $150 to look at it. So I think that the burden of society also has grown. So many things that you have to do, so many things for which you are responsible, so many things that you would have to teach to someone else. You have to have a fortress to provide shelter. And in these times, do any of us really feel like we have a fortress? Do any of us really feel that we have a firm grasp on what we're doing or where we're going on a day-to-day basis? I'm sure some of us do. Many of us are like leaves of grass thrown into an uncaring wind. That's nihilism, by the way. So I think that this poem is one that is ever present. Maybe not from the elemental standpoint. Maybe fewer of us are worried about keeping the wind out of our homes than it used to be that we were. Maybe fewer of us are concerned about surviving the summer heat than it used to be that we were because of air conditioning, etc. Maybe that's true. But there are so many new things nibbling around the periphery of life, of day to day, of wake up, make your little circle around the city, and go home. So many small things are there that it becomes very difficult to look at this world with confidence and think, yeah, I can teach someone else how to do this. That is what I have for this poetry discussion. If you like or appreciate what it is that I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature lovers. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping multiple videos every single week, and I hope to have you back for the next one.